Monday, President Global Center for Leadership and Good Governance with us, and we're talking about President Buhari's readiness to exit Aso Rock and the 2023 elections that was just concluded. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, amid speculation, let me start with Dr. Barry Avotu before we get to the press release that was conducted earlier today. Amid speculation of an interim government, we are seeing the president reiterating, it seems like a broken record, to tell Nigerians indeed he's ready to leave Aso Rock. When you keep hearing this from the presidency, how does it make you feel? I mean, it's constitutional. He has to leave.
Yeah. Thank you. You see, the president has to leave, but he does not need to leave Nigeria broken.
That's true.
Because your leaving has something to do with the unity and the oneness of Nigeria. If President Muhammadu Buhari leaves on May 29 and the country is in chaos, that is not a responsible living. That
doesn't seem his intention. I don't know where you're going with this.
Because generally, if you look at the politics at the moment, it's already overheated by politicians who don't wish well for Nigeria. How can somebody win an election and you announce an illegitimate winner? How can an umpire organize an election and go against its laws? This is wrong. We should learn how to do the right thing at the right time in Nigeria for the right thing to take over the rightness of the correctness of our country. That's what we are saying. We need a balanced economy. But before you get that balanced economy, you must build stability for your politics, because it is good politics that breeds quality leadership and also builds respect for the rule of law. So if you have these three things pari passu to each other, it means that we are going somewhere. So President Buhari can only leave come May 29 if he intends to leave Nigeria peaceful.
You don't intend
I don't think
okay, should there be chaos? Hypothetically speaking, I'm one that stands for peace and advocates
yes,
for
of
peace.
course, everybody
but
is supposed to be peaceful.
Should there be chaos, he shouldn't leave. Is that where you're going? Are you the one feeling this plot, this interim government?
No, I am not feeling any plots of unrest, but I am part and parcel of those who are feeling the influence of an interim government for Nigeria, because we have sat down and carried out researches and we've confirmed that that is the best solution for Nigeria at this time in our history.
Okay, so that I will get Ogedengbe's thought on this, I would like to ask him to react to what you just said. Is that what you also believe, that at this time in Nigeria's history, we need an interim government? And because, in his words, the conduct of the elections was nothing to write home about. The next best thing is an interim government.
Well, it's an understatement when we say we want interim government in Nigeria, because you cannot mend anything if it's not broken.
Of course, don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Good. So now, what we're looking for now is solution.
Of course.
Mahmoud Jega has broken all the laws that guide election in Nigeria. And you know, election is more like competition. People, about how many of, I think 19 presidential 18 presidential candidates that we have who went for that election, and at the end of the day there are rules and guidelines that the INEC themselves set and said this is the way we are going as an umpire. So the moment you broke that rule, you've destroyed everything that surround that game. So there's no way you will now allow somebody who maybe from the back door acquire a mandate to now come and to pretend over his own case. That's what we are saying. So now we are also saying that President Muhammadu Buhari is the one that pretended over this election.
That's right.
Through Mahmoud Yakubu. So now that same man should also not be seen, because he has not even said anything categorically to downplay what Nigerians are feeling and say, oh, okay, Nigerians, calm down. We have seen what happened. This is the way to go. as a leader, he needed to chart the course for us to know where we are going to.
Of course. He
has not done that. He has always been going about one way or the other and see how he can ameliorate languages around the election and say the election is free and fair. Anybody would. So if we are going to court and one of the contestants is going to become president before the court adjudicate.
Yes.
So how do we, is there fairness there? There will be no fairness. And the man we are talking about somebody who said in public, in a restaurant, that power is not served a la carte. And we all saw what happened.
But we do know that power is not served a la carte. We have to work to get power.
But you don't have to seize it by force. You don't have to steal it.
You say you need to steal it.
He said you should steal it.
Steal it.
I'll go to Johnson.
So that's the type of leader.
Maybe we should start from the very beginning. What is your intention? The last time we had an interim government was in 1993 when Ibrahim Babangida handed it to Seunokin.
That's right.
That was the last interim government Nigeria had. And my question would be, in your words, what would you like to see as an interim government? A case where the military takes over and superintends, or this same government that you don't seem to trust have the interests of Nigeria will still appoint those who would hold forth? Is that what you want? Let me know what you mean.
You see, the first and foremost, we must understand the importance of the definition of the word interim. Interim means, in my language, it means make I hold on for you.
Holding forth. Right.
Do you get it now?
So who determines who holds forth?
Yes, the president of Nigeria,
who you do not believe has done well in the conduct of the general election.
He has to do something called a transition from his own administration to another new administration coming. He has already formed something called the transition committee.
Of course. Where
Ahmed Bola Tinubu just sent 12 people to represent his team.
Right.
We want the president to withdraw those 12 people and hand over to that interim, that committee headed by Boss Mustafa. But first, to follow due process, the president needs to write the leadership of the National Assembly for a joint session to invoke the spirit of the doctrine of necessity that made Goodluck Jonathan president when President Yar'Adua died. That same way, constitutionally, a new birth for Nigeria is given.
Okay.
So practically, that's what we want, because you cannot be a judge in your own case. God forbid Ahmed Bola Tinubu becomes president of Nigeria come May 29. And the court case continues. Who do you think has the influence of the judiciary? The president. He cannot be arrested. Who do you think has the influence of the police? The president. Who do you think has the influence of the media? The president. Because the Constitution of Nigeria gives the president a veto power to act and not to act. So practically what we are saying, we need a doctrine of necessity to provide us the opportunity of killing the lacuna created by the Constitution of Nigeria, providing the privilege to install or hand over power to anyone the INEC chairman has declared winner in regards to the irregularities and discrepancy of that election. For us, we see that election as an unconclusive election because there was an objection during the collation of results before it was announced, and our constitution backed by the Electoral Act gives us the opportunity to have a window of review of any discrepancies or irregularities complained, and that complaint was made by Dino Melaye of the PDP and the agent of the Labour Party, and the INEC chairman in that collation center told the world that there will be an opportunity for review. Review. The constitution backed by the Electoral Act as amended 2022 states 7 days. 7 days opportunity window for review of those places. But we didn't see it. We just woke up and saw from the back door somebody, an indiscriminate person is being announced as president-elect. So for us, by law, since for the first time in our history, we have like 6 political parties and 6 presidential candidates running a court case against the declaration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu as president-elect, which makes the declaration illegitimate.
Because they went to court.
Yes, because they are in court. If nobody went to court, it will be legit. But since they are in court and their prayers have been accepted by the Court of Appeal, it means that that process is illegal. So why not? Why do you now want to hand? Listen, why do you now want to hand over to an illegal declared person? Why not give us an interim government that will take charge? Because President Buhari has no authority to stay in power more than 12 noon come May 29. Right. So as he goes, an interim government comes to give the opportunity to control the activities of the litigation and the government. Okay. So that by the time they hand over, they will be handing over to a legitimate, substantial president declared by the Supreme Court.
Right. Oyedepo.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is an interim government, hypothetically, that the President Muhammadu Buhari, would constitute, right? Yeah. This is the same President Muhammadu Buhari who is standing by the conduct of the just concluded general elections. Yeah. Elections that both of you have established in this studio was a sharp of democracy. So much was is said, I mean, even behind the cameras, in description of the conduct of that election. Why do you believe that should an interim government be formed or constituted, the president will not have that much influence on the judiciary that you are waiting for to eventually give us a verdict, or the runnings of government? Why do you think the president who has constituted this interim government would at that time stay aloof?
We believe that as it is, from the beginning of his regime, Nigerians have gone through a lot, and we have given up on him. In 2019, we are not expecting that Muhammadu Buhari will come back as a president.
But Nigerians voted for him.
Nigerians voted.
It means even despite your personal opinion, Nigerians still wanted him.
Nigerians voted.
Right.
However, we know what transferred because we are Nigerians. In this election too, people voted. We also know what transferred, and it can be likened to that 2019, because when you are in power, that's why we are saying that President Muhammadu Buhari must not hand over to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Simple reason that when you are in power, you influence and wield a lot of power. Yes. Within the judiciary, within the National Assembly. You can see that was why you see them coming together to say we want our own party member to become Senate President of National Assembly, because of those influences. So now, if I am in court with you and you are now pretending over the case, because you are the one that will choose the Supreme Court judge and take to National Assembly, so that they will now go to National Assembly, and National Assembly will get approval from National Assembly. So will you choose somebody who will now do...
No, I'm not going to the court yet. I'm still asking about this interim government.
Yes, now, I'm getting there now.
Right.
So now we believe that Muhammadu Buhari has heard Nigeria loud. Nigerians cry that he should speed up his going. It's very, very loud.
He wants to leave.
He also, but he has opportunity to resign. If he's so daring to him,
he should resign.
He should resign and go, because you can't be inflicting pain on people that you are leading. Muhammadu Buhari should have by now resigned and go back to Bola. At least 150.
And if they call him too much, he will go to his father country, Niger, his real country. We are going to prove to you that President Muhammadu Buhari is from Niger. We'll get his passport, we'll get his details. No, just like the way Nigerians did for Ahmed Bola Tinubu as a Guinean.
And where did it get us? Nigerians still voted him.
Worry.
Allegedly, he's not Nigerian, but yet we still voted. But Oyedepo, I want you to continue with your thoughts. So, you believe that when this interim government is set by President Muhammadu Buhari, he automatically relinquishes power or any sort of influence over the interim government?
Let me give you an insight.
I would like to hear.
So now, at a time, Muhammadu Buhari traveled out of this country, and with that little window, Vice President Oshibajo was now acting on his behalf. So within that short time, you saw the changes that quickly happened.
What changes?
A lot of changes. Rule of law was restored immediately. You saw when they misbehaved in the DSS, went to the National Assembly to go and block the way. You know what happened to the DG of the DSS. Even when President Muhammadu Buhari came back, he was ready to reverse.
He did. He reversed it.
So Nigerians have
put another person from their own side.
You understand it now. And now from the back door, we heard that it was still the same guy that now chose the person who is there now. So you understand what I'm saying now? So at least that change was done. It was proactive. That is what leadership is all about. So now, for instance, if whatever the case is, we might not get exactly an in-depth person like Muhammadu Buhari to take over in that place. We might just be lucky to have somebody
who is still a gamble.
Passionate in Nigeria of our dreams.
This is still a gamble.
It's not gamble.
It's a gamble. It's not gamble.
We all know who the SGF is.
Okay, this is the
Boss Mustafa, the Secretary to the Government of Federation. We all know who he is. He's a gentleman.
Right. You already have somebody who should chair this.
Because there's a transition committee chairman already. That transition committee can be converted to the interim government, and Buhari goes and they come in and take charge. This is what the Nigerian people need. We need a transmission of governance from a real democratic element to another substantial president of Nigeria, and the doctrine of necessity is open for such things to do. We don't know why Nigerians don't want to sit down to do the right thing. We have never for once asked any military to come.
Oh, you don't want military?
Definitely, it's not about the military government. We are talking about an interim government that deals with civilian. Which civilized country or a country that is developing that you see any military comes in? The military man cannot take over Nigeria. It's a rejection from the beginning. It's an old school thought for a military man to even mistakenly say fellow Nigerians. He will receive the bashing of his life.
Gentlemen, believe it or not, we've gone half hour, so it's time to call for a break right now. Now we'll return shortly. We're still discussing the President Muhammadu Buhari's readiness to leave Aso Rock come 29th of May. We'll be right back to discuss more. This is still Joyasonyelive.